What is stress? Stress may be described as any sort of alternate that causes physical, emotional, or psychological strain. Pressure is your frame's reaction to whatever that requires attention or action. Everybody reports pressure to a few limits. The way you reply to strain, but, makes a large distinction on your ordinary nicely being. Every so often, the best way to manage your stress entails changing your situation. At other times, the nice strategy involves converting the manner you respond to the scenario. Developing a clear know-how of ways pressure affects your physical and mental fitness is essential. It's also vital to apprehend how your intellectual and physical health impacts your stress level. Signs of stress. Pressure can be brief time period or lengthy term. Each can result in a selection of symptoms, but chronic stress can take a serious toll on the body over time and have long-lasting health consequences. A few not unusual symptoms of stress include changes in mood. Symptoms of stress can motive so much emotional misery that they are able to easily bring about temper swings. Temper swings because of stress can follow of anxiety, worry and pressure. However, they also can often rise on own. Clammy or sweaty arms. Sweating typically occurs as a reaction to fear or strain. That is why you would possibly notice elevated sweating as a physical symptom of anxiety. Like normal sweat, tension sweat can appear all over your body. Reduced intercourse drive. Continual stress, in particular, can intervene with your body's hormone stages, and bring about a lower libido. The arteries can also narrow and restrict blood waft in response to stress, which can also result in erectile dysfunction. Stress also can lessen your libido via distracting you and taking your thoughts off sexual desire. Diarrhea. In response to pressure, a psychological reaction takes place. Combat or flight reaction. This reaction turns on the release of hormones that receives the body prepared to do so. On the equal time, your mind sends a signal in your bowels to increase bowel motion inside the massive intestine. This leads to a mild case of diarrhea. Sleeping problems. Not unusual causes of persistent insomnia include pressure issues, approximately paintings, school, fitness, price range or circle of relatives can preserve your thoughts energetic at night, making it tough to sleep. Disturbing existence activities or trauma, including the loss of life or infection of a loved one, divorce, or a job loss, also may result in insomnia. Digestive issues, dizziness, feeling annoying, frequent illness, grinding tooth, headache, low energy, muscle tension, especially in the neck and shoulders, physical aches and pains, racing heartbeat, trembling. Identifying stress. What does stress experience like? What does stress experience like? It often contributes to irritability, worry, overwork, and frustration. You could feel bodily exhausted, worn out, and not able to manage. Stress isn't continually clean to apprehend, but there are some methods to perceive some symptoms which you experiencing too much stress. Occasionally stress can come from an apparent supply, however occasionally even small everyday stresses from paintings, college, circle of relatives, and pals can take a toll on your thoughts and frame. If you think stress is probably affecting you, there are a few matters you can look ahead to. Psychological symptoms, which includes difficulty concentrating, stressful, anxiety, and hassle remembering. Emotional signs together with being irritated, moody, or pissed off. Bodily signs and symptoms inclusive of excessive blood pressure, adjustments in weight, frequent colds or infections, and modifications in the menstrual cycle and libido. Behavioral signs consisting of terrible self-care, no longer having time for the stuff you experience, or relying on drugs and alcohol to cope. Impact of stress. Stress could have numerous consequences to your health and well-being. It could make it greater tough to cope with life's each-day hassles, affect your interpersonal relationships, and feature adverse effects on your health. The connection among your thoughts and frame is plain whilst you observe pressure's effect. Feeling stressed over a relationship, cash, or dwelling situation can create bodily health issues. The inverse is likewise actual. Health issues, whether or not you're handling excessive blood pressure or diabetes, will also have an effect on your pressure stage and intellectual fitness. When your brain reviews excessive tiers of pressure, your body reacts as a consequence. Severe acute stress, like being involved in a herbal disaster or stepping into a verbal altercation, can cause coronary heart assaults, arrhythmias, or even unexpected demise. But this takes place often in folks who have already got coronary heart sickness. Stress also takes an emotional toll. Even as a few stresses may additionally produce feelings of slight anxiety or frustration, prolonged pressure also can cause burnout, anxiety disorders, and melancholy. Chronic pressure can have a critical effect on your health as nicely. In case you revel in continual stress, your autonomic anxious device might be overactive, which is probable to damage your frame. Stress-influenced conditions, diabetes, hair loss, heart disease, hypothyroidism, obesity, sexual dysfunction, tooth and gum disease, ulcers, treatments for stress. Stress is not a distinct scientific analysis and there is no single, specific treatment for it. Remedy for stress makes a specialty of converting the situation, developing strain coping abilities, implementing rest strategies, and treating symptoms or situations which could have been caused by persistent stress. Some interventions that may be beneficial encompass therapy, medicinal drug, and complementary and alternative medicine, psychotherapy. Some kinds of remedy that may be in particular useful in addressing signs of stress inclusive of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and mindfulness primarily based strain reduction. Cognitive behavioral therapy focuses on assisting humans discover and exchange poor thinking patterns, even as mindfulness utilizes meditation and mindfulness to assist lessen stress tiers. Medication. Medicinal drug may additionally every so often be prescribed to cope with some particular signs which can be associated with stress. Such medicinal drugs may additionally consist of sleep aids, antacids, antidepressants, and antitension. Complementary and alternative medicine. Some complementary approaches that may also be helpful for reducing stress include acupuncture, aromatherapy, massage, yoga, and meditation. Coping with stress. Even though stress is inevitable, it could be attainable. While you understand the toll it takes on you and the steps to combat stress, you can take rate of your health and decrease the impact strain has in your existence. Learn how to recognize the signs and symptoms of burnout. Excessive stages of strain may place you at excessive threat of burnout. Burnout can go away you feeling exhausted and apathetic about your process. When you start to experience signs and symptoms of emotional exhaustion, it's a sign which you want to discover a way to get a deal within your stress. Try to get ordinary workout. Physical pastime has a large impact in your brain and your frame. Whether you enjoy Tai Chi otherwise you want to begin going for walks, exercising reduces stress and improves many symptoms related to mental infection. Take care of yourself. Incorporating normal self-care activities into each day life is important to strain control. Discover ways to contend with your thoughts, body, and spirit and discover the way to equip yourself to stay your quality life. Practice mindfulness in your life. Mindfulness is not simply something you practice for 10 minutes each day. It could also be a manner of existence. Find out how to live more mindfully at some stage in your day so that you can end up greater wakeful and conscious for the duration of your life.